Hello and welcome back to Coin Matters channel. We'll be discussing Ripple and XRP today, along with the rest of the cryptocurrency and financial markets. Now that we have set the stage, let's go to work on this piece from March of this year. The year 2023 appears to be the target year for instant payments made by banks. To that end, we have been keeping an eye on recent developments at the BIS, the Federal Reserve, and other major central banks. Today, financial institutions and other large organizations are beginning to see the value in implementing distributed ledger technology, DLT, crypto blockchain solutions for payment processing and settlements. Instant payments and settlement are the key distinctions here, right? Instant payments are possible, but instant settlement needs to be handled by a separate mechanism. Everyone believed, for instance, that Swift GPI would eliminate ripples. All the way back in 2020 and 2021, people were up in arms about this, and even Brad Garlinghouse discredited it. They questioned, so where do Ripple and XRP go from here? Since Swift has finally implemented quick transactions? The issue is that you can make payments more quickly, right? Payments can be processed much more quickly. What though? They need a way to settle quickly, and Swift provides that. In this case, DLT and crypto technology provide solutions to many of the payment-related issues that have arisen. That's why Ripple has been so ahead of the curve in offering crypto solutions to businesses and institutions all across the world. Personally, I think 2019 is the year that utility finally begins to assert itself. Major financial institutions are now making the commitment to adopt real-time payments. After all, it is explicitly stated here that all parties participating in the payments process, including credit unions, banking platform providers, fintechs, and so on, must do so. And, you guessed it, the time is now. Now is the year to put in the necessary effort. And I absolutely believe that practicality will be the most prominent in the future. Earlier today, I sent a tweet in which I predicted a major shift would occur on a worldwide scale. The majority of people still don't know it. The retail industry has been fed diversions by the mainstream media. It's time to open your eyes and see reality now. The tokenization of digital assets, the simplification of payment systems, the integration of these systems, etc. The ruling class is conducting tests to determine the best way to connect distributed ledger technology, DLT, networks with legacy networks. There will soon be a major shift. The world around you will soon be entirely digital, with all valuable items tokenized using stablecoin CBDCs on a blockchain. Everything is on the way. This is occurring, and it cannot be stopped. There are important parts of the puzzle being built within these initiatives. I've been discussing XRP, HBAR and T, XLM, Casper XDC, and a plethora of other endeavors for almost 2 years. There has been a lot of change in the global system in the past 24 months. The majority of people simply don't see what's going on. You have to open your eyes and see the reality of the situation. Yes, if we take the current Fed system as an example. Right. That, it seems, is how the CBDC system is typically introduced. And while that's entirely possible, I think the Fed's present system might provide the backbone for CBDC in the United States. I don't imagine that the retail industry will be a target for CBDCs. I anticipate CBDCs to be more widely distributed. While CBDC-backed stablecoins issued by the central bank are expected to become the norm. Right. This is going to be more prevalent in the retail sector. There are various perspectives from which to consider this. I've heard many different explanations for this, including the golden back theory. No one can predict the future with any degree of accuracy. The only thing we can say for sure is that DLT technology is essential. So much of the literature I've seen about Ripple and XRP comes from large institutions like the International Monetary Fund and the Bank for International Settlements, as well as regulatory bodies like the Financial Stability Board. Alongside this, though, the financial system itself is undergoing profound transformation. It was uploaded by Yogi Bear _XRP. There are three key shifts occurring in the financial sector right now. ISO 22022 international money transfers, overseas payments, and remittances, the Basel III and IV rules. Here's where the concept of gold-backed reserves comes into play. Gold is today considered a top-tier asset. In addition, I believe that silver's holders will reap many rewards in the future. In terms of return on investment, I anticipate that silver may soon surpass gold. Silver, in my opinion, is a must-have for anyone putting together a diversified portfolio of physical assets. Never forget the importance of making a tangible purchase. Many individuals have questioned my decision to purchase physical media when I could instead save money and have greater portability by purchasing digital content. The issue is that you can never be sure if digital currency has any reserves backing it up. However, this spells the end of the Libra to SOFR shift as well. For the benefit of readers who may be unfamiliar, Libra refers to the London Interbank Offered Rates, which will soon be replaced by secured overnight financing rates, potentially signaling the end of decades-long efforts to keep debt and interest rates low. That may happen. And then we see, and you assume it won't have any major impact on the world at large, and you're wrong. How many schools will be eliminated? Leave immediately. Time is ticking away. And we do see a few things down here, such as the ARC also declared that the statements contributed a benchmark transition event under its fallback system, which is again centered out on Libra. Possible money market pricing approach to calculating corporate SOFR credit spreads is also provided below. It's worth repeating that the document suggests this outcome may be ascertained by reintroducing this procedure into brand new business credit agreements and reselling the SOFR-based loans into the money markets. This section below is merely a breakdown of the ARC priorities and targets for 2021, with an emphasis on SOFR and liquidity. Once again, if we examine the current situation, it appears that significant shifts are taking place in fundamental aspects of the global system. The financial system, and whether or not the public as a whole is willing to pay attention to a handful of crucial details. Consideration of these is, in my opinion, fundamental. I understand that many people choose to disregard it, and that's fine with me. Yes, you can. You might also zero in on the fundamentals, such as the shift to global payments that incorporate things like international wire transfers, remittances, and quick settlement. Not a problem. However, there are a couple of these other things that I find interesting and like to investigate further. Because we've already covered how the Bretton Woods financial system is undergoing certain shifts, and how a new Bretton Woods may emerge with a focus on digitization and digital assets. And to return to his earlier statement, and you think this won't crater anything global? For this new financial system to emerge in the West, I think the old one will have to collapse first. Since the debt ceiling was temporarily lifted 3 weeks ago, the U.S. national debt has risen by $700 billion, as reported by Bitcoin News. That's an increase of nearly $1 trillion in debt in a little over a month. The stakes are high here. This is important for everyone to hear because inflation and debt levels suggest that hyperinflation is on the horizon. Having assets is a binary condition. And if you don't have any assets, you're in a bad spot. Jokes about Bitcoin's price reaching $1 million are common in this market. 10, 20, 30, or 40 years from now, it won't occur. You can't afford to undervalue some of these things when hyperinflation hits. And it's not just Bitcoin, it seems to apply to the entire market. The prices will increase dramatically if you have something that is deflationary when hyperinflation is occurring. This includes XRP as well. Everyone should make preparations for this, since if they don't, they'll be in a bad position. The trouble is, though, that, yes, there will be substantial price hikes. The catch is that you won't be the only thing to experience exponential growth. For example, if a gallon of milk costs $50, what good is $1 million in Bitcoin? Right. Therefore, this is going to be a major issue. And I truly believe that this is the case. What's even crazier about this whole situation is that they still seem intent on accumulating that $50 trillion in debt. In this case, we're talking about April. Senator Ron Johnson to Federal Reserve Chair Janet Yellen, you will double the national debt. Yes, but pay close attention. The debt will increase from the current $32 trillion to almost $50 trillion as a result of your actions. Correct? The ratio of real net interest to gross domestic product is, in my opinion, the most telling indicator of a country's fiscal health. Yes, we succeeded. So, is it concerning to increase the debt from $32 trillion to $50 trillion? Are you worried that no one will purchase that debt? And how fast, if at all? They will demand payment for taking on ever-increasing levels of risk by purchasing debt. Have you given that any thought? The budget is sustainable if the real net interest cost of the debt is kept to a manageable level as a percentage of GDP. As for us, well, the route we're on is not sustainable. We're not on a course that's sustainable, and I agree with him. This conversation took place in April. Take a peek at the month of June right now. It's almost July now. There has been a near $1 trillion increase in debt in just 3 weeks. It would appear that a major increase in debt is on the horizon. It appears that they are attempting to bring down the old order in favor of the new one. And whether or not that holds true, we need to keep the big picture in mind. And it looks like the banking industry is going to have a lot more issues in the near future. As I was saying, I've seen many folks act like we're free and clear of this situation. Please have a look at this, people. Right. Here is a quick rundown of the history of bank collapses between 2001 and 2023. Once more, we haven't even had 3 by this point in 2023. Since this was revised on May 1st, I read somewhere that the number was closer to 5. We must be approaching the 5 mark now. To give some context, in 2007 there were only 3 of us. 2008 we had 25. 2009, we reached 140 in 2009. In 2010, that number had risen to 157. There have been around 3 bank failures, right? We're on track to have a great 2007. That's why I think everyone should listen to the news and take note of what's being said. They assure you that everything in your financial accounts is all right. Getting cash out of the bank is unnecessary. Unfortunately, if you've seen the reality behind the story, everyone would be withdrawing their money from the bank right now. If that's the case, then these financial institutions are doomed. They can't guarantee your deposits because they don't have the capital. As far as I'm concerned, this is the main issue with fractional reserve banking. And it's been around for a very long time. And it's the most pressing problem. It's the belief that people are placing excessive faith in the banking system at a time when this is not a good idea. You should have learned a very important lesson about the indifference of banks to their customers sometime between 2007 and 2010, or shortly thereafter. They are not on your side for whatever reason. They really don't give a hoot about you. All that matters is that you put your money in the banks, where it will be safe, but where you will have no control over it. And it's not even real cash. All of it is counterfeit. None of it is real. It seems likely that the old order will collapse suddenly in order to make way for the new one as we approach the end of the transition phase. And DLT digital rails will serve as its focal point. It's the main reason the powerful are doing these trials, so now is the perfect opportunity to come to your senses, form your own opinions, shun the mainstream media, and put that time to better use. Make the most of it by reading up on the industry and generally immersing yourself in the new vibe that represents, I would venture to say, the growth of our entire global system. And it goes beyond money, right? All the things around you right now. And on that note, I hope you found this video entertaining. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and turn on the notification bell if you want more free stuff like this. See you later, bye.